Hello, my name is Ron Cardo and I'm a racing enthusiast and a long-time owner. I'm about to reveal to you the circumstances of a Queensland race that put into question Quebec and Queensland Racing's ability to place integrity and transparency as the foundation of how it operates, the behaviour of representatives of Quebec on race day and the subsequent response by Queensland Racing, Minister for Sport, Queensland Government Ombudsman, Queensland Crime and Corruption, Racing Australia, calls into question the intent and capability of the industry to guarantee not only transparency, but also the integrity of the industry. I'm about to recount my story that is driving me to address the shortcomings of Quebec in the hope that the potential for a reoccurrence of these circumstances is eliminated. My endeavour is to keep Queensland racing honest and gain owners the rightful representation they deserve. Firstly, I would like to stress my intent is not to cause any collateral damage to anyone who is innocently dragged into these revelations. I am totally aware that everyone in positions of responsibility, including Quebec, is not a bad apple. I was the syndicate manager and part owner of a horse named Readapt. We sent Readapt to North Queensland to escape the wet tracks of New South Wales. Many trainers have done this before, and gain the benefits of the North Queensland dry season. Readapt was nominated for a meeting at Home Hill on the 31st of August 2023, over 18 months ago. The moons had aligned and we did back him with confidence. Approximately 2 hours before his race, 3 very senior Quebec stewards interfered with Readapt's preparation by giving the horse a bucket of water, without any consultation with our trainer or a vet. The interference by these 3 very senior stewards who were there supposedly to carry out integrity checks on the race day was witnessed by a very respected Home Hill racing stakeholder. This witness did tell those stewards not once but twice Readapt was not his horse. After being advised, they continued totally to ignore the witness's advice. The 3 perpetrators were Mr. Shane Larkin, a Mr. McDonald and a Mr. Allison, all very experienced. The repercussions of the interference by the stewards in giving Readapt the bucket of water included negatively impacting the safety of the jockeys in the race, particularly our jockey, negatively impacting the welfare of the horses in the race, particularly our horse. The flow-on effect of their interference, it also interfered with the betting outcome in Readapt's race. They also affected the integrity of our trainer. The ongoing participation of the 12 enthusiastic owners in our syndicate, they've virtually murdered it. Our trainer, after being notified of the steward's interference, immediately notified the head steward at Home Hill that day, Mr. Griffiths, of what had occurred. Instead of scratching the horse and ceasing all betting transaction, Mr. Griffiths allowed Readapt to race without any consideration of all applicable protocols. He didn't even talk to a vet. Unbelievable. Consequently, Readapt raced very poorly. The race day stewards report simply said Readapt pulled up with slight colic, and buried away further in that race day magazine report, call it what you like, there was to be an ongoing inquiry into a pre-race incident. The pre-race interference was not even considered relevant enough to put in the race day stewards report, even though our trainer received a verbal apology from Mr. Larkin before he had left the course. The first of many red flags to the owners. Keep looking for red flags is everything I say, please. Due to the owner's concerns, I was on the phone to Currick the very next day, Friday the 1st of the 9th, 23. On Saturday the 2nd of the 9th, 23, Mr. Griffiths rang me. At the time he was getting on a plane to go to another race meeting and stated, "I believe you have some questions." In response, I said that our concerns require more than a short phone call or a short conversation, and that I would provide the questions formally by email. The questions were provided by email, and they still remain unanswered. This early communication presented us, the owners, with doubt that our concerns would be dealt with the seriousness that they could deserve. I think this is nearly as serious as the Fine Cotton affair. But anyhow, let's keep going. This was the beginning of a litany of bureaucratic activity that did everything but address the integrity issues involved. At that stage, I was notified that Mr. Griffiths would no longer be handling the case, and it would be taken over by Mr. Josh Adams. I felt it must have been getting too hard for Mr. Griffiths, but anyhow, here we go. In the owner's view, Adams' first move, it wasn't their view, his first move was to try and put the blame on the trainer. Subsequently, I made it very clear that the trainer prepares a horse to race, and stewards, using well-established, for 100 years, protocols and integrity to maintain and run the race meeting. Despite numerous inquiries, no response from Mr. Adams for over 5 weeks. When I did receive a response, I was informed that the actions of the 3 named stewards was for the welfare of the horse. At no time did our trainer consider a welfare issue was attached to the horse. There's another red flag. Here we go. The formal conclusion of the ongoing stewards' inquiry was that the welfare actions of the stewards was acceptable. This decision was arrived at without any input from owners or the trainer or the jockey or any veterinary advice that they'd received, or not even the witness to the actions of the stewards. Another red flag. You're going to get sick of red flags. The owners dismissed the welfare excuse. Just think of this for a minute. They said it was going to be a hot day. Hadn't they heard of bomb weather? Bomb weather had it right for the week before and the week after. Hottest temperature got to that day, 28.6. How about 80 horses nominated, 1 horse to get water? We call him the chosen one. Anyhow, more red flags. You'd nearly say another red flag was Mr. Larkin's apology after the event. Anyhow, we can't keep going on. We then tried to establish for ourselves why the stewards acted in the way they did. and we're left with two possibilities. Total incompetence, highly unlikely because these were very experienced, and in some of their own comments, they are the best of the best. Or another thought, deliberate interference for a sinister outcome, possibly for the benefit of others. I continued to press for justification, which resulted in the Commissioner himself, Mr. Shane Gillard, providing us with a written, sincere apology, with the assurance that he'd make sure it won't happen again. He also stated that Quebec would introduce a retraining program. The need for retraining of highly experienced stewards as an outcome of their inquiry raises more flags. No one was held responsible. No formal disciplinary action was taken, to our knowledge. Our trainer subsequently received a $330 compensation payment because the horse was neglected, and unbelievable. I inquired about this payment, and it was for the actions of the stewards, in particular the filling of the water bucket, which caused our horse not to be able to compete on a level playing field in a race for money. Black and white. I inquired how this amount was arrived at. This is good. And was informed it just filters down from the top. I'm not going to mention the word flag. While this is all going on, the representatives of trainers and the representatives of jockeys and the representative owners finally convinced the previous Labor Minister for Racing, Grace, to instigate a KPMG review into the Quebec operations. This review cost over $500,000 and is yet to be published. The Labor Party didn't pay for the review. The Liberal Party didn't pay for the review. The stakeholders and participants of racing paid for the review. The findings of other inquiries are yet to be revealed, but I don't expect them because they were established on behalf of other government departments. A little bit secretive, but might get to them one day. At the same time, I have been dealing with and reported the incident to the Queensland Ombudsman's Office and the Queensland Crime and Corruption Commission. Both of these government departments accepted Quebec's explanations without any representation from the complainant. This left the owners with the opinion that their investigations were inept, at the very least, very complacent. Quebec, Queensland Ombudsman and Queensland Crime and Corruption Commission have not considered my accusations important enough to interview me face to face, even though I made myself available to them on many occasions. The question remains, do owners not have the right to expose wrongdoing? Now we have a Queensland election in the middle of all this, which results in a new Minister for Racing, Mr. Tim Mander. I'll mention him later. I find it very difficult to understand why, after spending over $500,000 of stakeholders' money, you would disregard the initial inquiry and create a new review. The only persons that I can be sure that saw the KPMG report appeared to have scampered with the tail between their legs. There has been a new hierarchy established at Quebec. Commissioner Catherine Clark and Deputy Commissioner Kim Kelly, both Clark and a deputy, have treated my accusations with the same disrespect as the previous hierarchy and appear to continue to disregard the interests of other stakeholders, including owners, in preference to protecting the questionable actions of their staff. Their actions, including their failure to even discuss my concerns personally, points to the protection of government employees who have conducted themselves as unprofessionally as they have. The protection of these employees seems to be the overriding priority. This continuing behaviour only creates an illusion of integrity and further questions the competence of government industry leadership. I have formed the view that my story could be one of many. Without the publication of the industry reviews undertaken to date and the behaviour of government representatives, I am concerned that the dirty laundry has not yet surfaced to the degree necessary for the industry to become truly transparent and to guarantee the industry's integrity. I would appreciate if anyone out there with information or knowledge that could assist me and the syndicate in our endeavours to keep Queensland racing honest, please contact me on the following email address. I commit to keep informing the industry of any unacceptable experiences for the benefit of all stakeholders. I commit to anyone who contacts me or comes forward to not proceed with any action until I have discussed it with them. I'm happy to protect anyone who would prefer anonymity. Right, now I'd just like to say something about the new leadership. I'd like, first of all, I will read a letter sent to me, the last paragraph of a letter sent to me by the Deputy Commissioner, Mr. Kim Kelly. Here we go, here it is. The QRIC has deemed this matter now finalised and are therefore unable to provide you with any further information. The QRIC will not be responding to any further communications to you in relation to the incident 31 August 23 involving Readapt. Pretty clear, but in the next sentence, I encourage you to lodge any further future concerns via the QRIC's Anonymous Report Something portal. Bit of a contradiction, but whatever. I think Mr. Kelly should have contacted me personally, or at minimum by phone, before he decided to wipe me from the QRIC concerns. His boss, Mr. Mander, ex-referee. Mr. Mander, I'm not telling you how to run your race, but it might be time to pull the whistle out of your pocket, blow time off, put someone in the sin bin and keep people accountable for what's going on. I'm available to you too at any time. My email address is pelican8989rk@gmail.com. Thank you for putting up with me.